Hello and welcome to Training Manager. What follows is a description of some of the most commonly used functions of the Training Manager program. There's nothing you need to do, just sit back, turn up your speakers, and enjoy the show. The following topics will be reviewed throughout this presentation. Firstly, an overview of a typical page on Training Manager. Then, how to create new users, groups, contracts, etc. Then, how to access existing users, groups, contracts, etc. Then, how to sort your data, how to filter your data, how to mine your data, and finally, how to search for data throughout the Training Manager database. Now then, here's the home page for our system. You'll notice that there's many tabs here: companies, contracts, clients, employees. You may not necessarily have access to all these tabs because depending on what type of user you are, the system will either show or hide certain information from you. So for example, if you're a client, you're unlikely to have access to the school's payroll information. Similarly, if you're a teacher, you're unlikely to have access to client data or contract data. At the top here, you'll see that there's a number of settings. You can sign out, contact us, admin tools. To begin, we're going to bring you into the students grid. To give you an idea of how these things work, you'll notice that by default, we show the active information. Active, inactive, or all. So these are the active student records. Some student records may have been deactivated. You can search for data. You can filter data. You can add new data, new students, employees, etc. You can open existing files by simply clicking on any one of the ID numbers. You can mine for data by clicking on the little plus symbols. You can sort your data by clicking on any one of these column headings. Those features are present in all grids of this system. You can always perform any one of the functions that I just described in any one of these grids. We'll take you through them one at a time. Let's begin with the employees grid. Let's begin by adding a new employee. These are employees of the school, so by default it will select a teacher to be added. In the Vancouver branch, this teacher's name is Frank Sinatra. He is from British Columbia, and his email address is frank@gmail.com. His hourly rate is $30 an hour. Notice I've only filled out the fields which have red asterisks next to them. It's a good idea to fill out all of the fields, but if you're in a rush, those mandatory fields are described for you. When you're done, click on Save and OK. As soon as we've done that, other tabs opened up here. So for example, we can enter Mr. Sinatra's educational background, so as to say that in the year 2000, from the University of Montreal, he completed his master's degree in education. Save. We can say that in terms of previous work experience, from 2001 until 2005, at the University of Ottawa, he was an English teacher, where he accumulated 5,250 hours. His reference name is Professor Roberts. The telephone number is 613-555-5555, and email address roberts@gmail.com. Entering the data here ensures that it's available months and years from now when it comes time to perhaps work on certain tendering opportunities. You can also upload this teacher's resume. The upload process will take approximately 30 to 40 seconds. We need to first check if there are any viruses on the document. Simply be patient. When it's done, the page refreshes, and there you have it. The resume has been uploaded into this employee's file. I can close the page now, and you'll notice that he appears at the top here. Currently, he has 0 hours provided via the system, but we can see here that he has previously accumulated 5,250 hours, and he has a master's degree. That's how you add a new user, be they clients, employees, students, groups, in the system. You simply click on the Add New button and fill out the fields. Now then, let's go to our Groups page. In the Groups grid over here, you'll notice we have the Add New Group feature, but now I want to open an existing group. To open an existing group, I simply click on the ID number featured on the left-hand side. When we open a group, we can see a host of information related to this group. For example, who is the client of the group, who is the manager, the teacher, what is the schedule, how many hours per day, etc. Are there any other teachers? You can have multiple teachers for a group. Which students are in this group? And finally, have any documents, for example a course plan, been uploaded into this group's file? Close. Again, every grid works the same way. Simply by clicking on any grid, you can open an existing file by clicking on the ID number featured on the left-hand side of every grid. Now then, I'm going to click on the Students grid. By clicking on the Students grid, we're now going to show you how to sort, filter, mine, and search for data. Let's begin with the sorting process. You'll notice that currently my students are all sorted in descending order by student ID. However, if I wanted to, I could sort them alphabetically by student name simply by clicking on the header student name. Notice they're all organized alphabetically in ascending alphabetical order. Click again and they're in descending alphabetical order. Click on the division. Click on any one of these titles and you will notice that it will sort the data accordingly. Next, you can filter your data. For now, you'll notice that we only have 6 records. But imagine you had hundreds or maybe thousands of students in your database. You can filter your data by clicking on Show Filter. Under Student Name, you will say where the student name contains the word demo. Enter. And it shows me the demo student. Do that again. Where student name contains the word Charles. And there you have it. To remove your filter, simply click Remove Filter and then Hide Filter. That's how you filter data. Next, let's show you how to mine for the data. You'll notice that the first student here, Charles de Gaulle, has attended 581 hours of training. Currently, he has 0% attendance. Let's find out why by clicking on the plus symbol next to his name. You'll notice that he's currently in Group 3. Group 3 currently has only just begun. But if I was to click on this little plus symbol, here are all of the timesheets for Mr. Charles de Gaulle for this group number 2 that he was in from June until December of 2012. Here is his teachers, here are the hours provided, the attendance, etc. And if you wanted to open any timesheet, just click on the link. Let's do that again. I want to mine for the data. So for example, Winston Churchill. Click on the little plus symbol and it will show me that Winston Churchill used to be in group number 2. And here are all of his timesheets. This is how you mine or how you dig down in the data. Finally, let's do a little search. You can search for data. For example, you can say, show me all students that were in group number 2. Enter. And there you have them. These 5 students were in group number 2. You can say, show me all students which are in group number 3. And here are your students in group number 3. To reset it, simply click None and reset your page so that all 6 records appear. That was a description of how to sort, filter, mine, and search for data. The last thing that we want to show you now, specifically for clients, is how to add a supervisor to a particular student's file. This is a very common thing for many clients to do. For example, Mr. Winston Churchill. Mr. Winston Churchill is a student on training with the school. If I were a client of the school or if I was a manager of the school, I could simply click on Supervisor Info. While the Create New Supervisor field was active, I can say, well, his supervisor's name is Mr. John Stevens, who's also in British Columbia, and his email address is johnstevens@gmail.com. When you're done, simply click on Save and OK. And there you have it. Mr. Stevens has now been granted access to Mr. Churchill's file. This now concludes the presentation on the basic and common features of the Training Manager program. Again, we remind you that all tabs in this system are very similar. If you want to access any group information, any requisition information, any timesheet information, you need only click on the different tabs so that the information may appear. There are a number of other demos available in our series. We encourage you to have a look at them. They're all uploaded on YouTube. Thank you very much. Have a good day.